Bet you didn't even know this thing existed. I did. I had it on VHS back in the day. Hi guys, Kidger64 here, and today we're going to be talking about the physical media releases for the month of February in the year 2022. And there's actually some pretty good stuff this month, so I'm pretty excited. For those who have never joined me before on these, I do this every single month, and I've been on a roll with this, so I'm hoping to keep that going. And these are my picks. These are also just mainstream picks, some things I'm interested in, some things that I think are just interesting, some things that I think you guys might be interested in. This does not detail every single release. With all that said, I do split this up into sections. So we got new releases up first, and there's older releases, which is of older movies, Steelbooks, and special releases, which also includes TV releases. I'm putting those together from now on. And each section is going to be time stamped, so you can skip around if you want. But I would appreciate it if you watch the whole thing. First section up is new releases. First up is Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think this is the biggest movie release of the month. At least for me, it is. I think it is for everybody else too. I have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife yet. I am actually excited to check it out. I do like Ghostbusters. I got a great steelbook here, which I highly recommend. If you've never seen Ghostbusters, check out Ghostbusters. I was not a fan of the 2016 Ghostbusters. That's where Hollywood, I think, diverged on a path of destruction. But there were some people who like that. I did check it out. I didn't like it at all. And I wouldn't even consider myself a hardcore Ghostbusters fan, but the way that they treated Bill Murray in that movie, I did not like. Yeah, just my opinion. I didn't like the 2016 Ghostbusters, so I'm looking forward to seeing Afterlife. Reviews have been pretty good for it, and just kind of want to watch it and have a good time. I don't think it's going to be as good as the original, and as with all remakes, reboots, and everything else, or long spans in between, for sequels, they tend to not be as good as the original, but hey, I don't really care. I am interested in seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife. One thing to note for Afterlife is that there's no mainstream steelbook release for this, which I found to be very strange. Now, there is something I'm going to mention in the steelbook releases when I get to that section, but I'm looking forward to checking out Ghostbusters Afterlife. Next up is American Underdog, and I'm actually really looking forward to this one too. I have not seen it yet. It was just released, and it seemed like it was just released. So, like last month maybe, or December. It's coming out on physical media very quick. I'm not gonna complain about it. I was looking forward to checking this out. Just, I don't really go to the theater all that much anymore. So I haven't seen it, but I am looking forward to this about the Kurt Warner story. It stars Zachary Levi, Anna Paquin, and Dennis Quaid. I am a big Zachary Levi fan. I pretty much will watch a movie with him in it. He's got charisma. I met him in person. He's a really nice guy. And I love sports movies, so I'm really looking forward to checking out American Underdog. Another DC animated movie is coming out, Catwoman Hunted. I do collect a lot of the DC animated movies. I don't own all of them, more particularly the more recent ones I haven't picked up. I think the last one I picked up was Justice Society World War II, which was pretty good. But overall, the DC animated movies are very much a mixed bag these days. The earlier ones were all must-gets, must-owns, and that's the reason why I own all of them, because they were all pretty good. So a lot of the DC animated movies are hit or miss for me. So I don't know. I'm not sure if this is worth picking up or not. King Richard is coming to Blu-ray and 4K, and this was released on HBO Max. It was one of those theatrical HBO Max simultaneous releases, which is the main reason why I keep HBO Max. That, and they have a pretty good library that's beginning to compete with Netflix, in my opinion. But their simultaneous, theatrical and streaming releases is the main reason why I keep it. So I checked out King Richard already, and I watched it when it first came out, and I thought it was pretty good. I think it's a little bit overhyped. But I really liked it. I thought all the performances were really good. And it did take a little while to get going. At least it took me a little while to get into the movie. I think there's a couple things that happen in the beginning, in the first act, that once you get, they're a little bit darker themed than what the rest of the movie is. And it makes sense within the narrative of the movie, but at the same time, it throws off the tone a little bit at the beginning. But anyway, without giving you guys a full review of King Richard, it's coming out on 4K. And if you don't have HBO Max and you like, sports biopic type stuff, I thought it was pretty good. Clifford the Big Red Dog's coming out, and I just thought it was interesting that it was coming out because I remember when I was a kid, reading the books. So it's kind of cool that it's continued on. I don't know how well it did in theaters. Probably didn't do that well, just like everything else. But hey, if you got a kid, it seems like it might be a pretty good kids movie. Like I said, I remember the books when I was a kid, so that's about all I have to say about that. Encanto is coming out. This was a Disney Pixar movie. I have not seen it. Pixar's been a little bit of a mixed bag for me. To me, I think their best days are behind them. It doesn't mean they don't still come out with some good stuff. I liked Coco. Onward was all right, and Soul was all right as well. So usually you get something that's at least solid. It's not like I watch any Pixar movies and I'm like, that was a bad movie. But you just kind of know what you're going to get when you get into Pixar. And they're a little bit less special because you used to only get one a year, and it seems like they're putting out like 2 a year. It's kind of what happened with Marvel. You used to get 1 a year, and then you got 2 a year, and you're like, hey, this is cool. And then you got to 3 a year. And then this past year, they did 4. So it's like, that's way too many. It becomes less special when you're doing too much of them. So anyway, I haven't seen Encanto. It is on Disney Plus. That's why I thought it was interesting when I was putting this list together. I was like, I saw this on Disney Plus. So that's kind of crazy that they're putting it on the streaming before they bring out the physical media. But at the same time, Disney's not really been supporting physical media, so I shouldn't be too surprised about it, I guess. But if you collect all the Pixar movies, that's coming out this month. Eternals is coming out on 4K and Blu-ray, and I'm not going to pick this up. I collect all the MCU movies. Well, not all of them. The most recent ones I haven't cared to collect. Specifically this phase, I'm sorry, I haven't really cared. I don't really care about Eternals, so I'm not going to fake that I'm excited about this. This is also the same boat as Encanto in that it's on Disney Plus already. So it is kind of strange that they're putting the streaming stuff up before the physical media. Historically, the way it's worked out is you come on with the physical media, and then a couple months later you come out on the streaming. But everything's been crazy over the last couple years, so that's apparently not what they're doing with this stuff. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. I've heard some mixed reviews on this thing. Some people liked it. Some people thought it reminded them of, what it was like to play the game back in the day. And apparently there's lots of scenes that kind of replicate the feeling of the game at moments. But it's a video game movie. They're usually not very good. Very mixed reactions on this one. I haven't seen it. I probably won't see it. I wasn't really a fan of the Resident Evil movies. I remember playing the Resident Evil games back in the day, but yeah, just not a whole lot of interest on my part. And it seems like this might be a good TV movie. Like, if this just dropped on TV, I would have checked it out. Like, or they just dropped this on a streaming service and they're like, here's a streaming movie. I might have checked it out. And I might still do that if that happens, but I don't know if it's something I'd want to buy. Next up is older releases. And first up, we've got Hey Arnold, the movie. It's coming to Blu-ray. Yes, Nickelodeon, keep this up. Keep releasing more of your older stuff. We got Clock Stoppers last month on Blu-ray, and we're getting Hey Arnold, the movie, this month on Blu-ray. There's more that I'm hoping that we get. I was trying to find my VHS of Hey Arnold because that was the last one. I never got the DVD of the movie, but I remember the VHS back in the day had an orange case like all the other Nickelodeon stuff. I have no idea where mine is, but I did find my Hey Arnold complete series, the complete series of Hey Arnold on DVD. I really like this show. It's a kind of show they don't make anymore. And I'm looking forward to this. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. The only thing I remember being disappointed about in the movie wasn't really so much about the story, just the animation. Didn't look as movie-like. Like, usually you'd get a better animation style when they did the movies, but the animation style is about what they did in the show, which works well for on TV, but when you're watching it on a bigger screen, leaves a little bit more to be desired. I haven't watched it in such a long time, so I'm interested in buying this one and revisiting. I think this is something I'm going to purchase this month. Almost Famous is coming out, and it is getting a 4K Release. I've never seen Almost Famous. I just knew that it existed. I knew that it was a movie that existed. That's the extent to my knowledge on Almost Famous. So anybody out there who's seen it, let me know if it's something that you'd like or if it's something you'd want to upgrade. Yeah, I'm kind of relying on y'all's opinion on this one. Murder on the Orient Express. This is the 1974 movie, which I didn't even know existed. I know on one of my videos I said I was cultured, and then I'm pretty sure it was my last video I said I was cultured, and then I was like, maybe I'm not so cultured. Yeah, I'm not so cultured because I didn't even know there was an original Murder on the Orient Express. I knew it was a book. Does that count? Anyway, this was a couple years ago. This version, the latest version of the movie, I really, really liked. So I think it would be cool to kind of watch this older version. It's getting a Blu-ray release, so I might be picking it up. Looper's coming to 4K. I believe this is the first time it ever came on 4K. When the movie originally released it, 4Ks were not around at the time, so I think this is the first time that it coming to 4K. I got the Mondo Steelbook here, which looks amazing. I really love this Steelbook. It's one of my favorite Steelbooks. It's a pretty good movie, even though the director Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars. Yeah, I'm one of those people. One of those people who didn't like The Last Jedi. Not only did I not like it, I majorly didn't like it. I don't use hate. It's a strong word. But it might be reserved for that movie. But anyway, he's good when he does his own stuff. Do your own movies. Don't get on any more franchise stuff because you don't know what you're doing. But Looper was a good movie. It's not super rewatchable, at least in my opinion, particularly halfway through the movie, when they get to the farm, if you guys have ever seen it, when the farm gets into it, I feel like it just pacing wise takes a major hit and is not as interesting as the first half of the movie, and it takes a little while. But either way, it's a good movie. I don't think I'll upgrade because I like my Mondo Steelbook. I don't need to upgrade to 4K. Alligator. This looks like a sci-fi movie. I feel like I've seen this. I feel like I've seen Alligator. Have I seen Alligator? Hold on a second. I'm gonna look this up.
A few moments later.
Yes, I have seen Alligator. What do you know? A movie I've seen. Yeah, this came out in 1980, and the reason I remember it was they showed it a few times on Sci-Fi Channel back in the day. And I remember watching it, catching it on TV when I was like a kid or a young teenager, one or the other. I definitely remember watching this movie. But it's getting a 4K release, and the sequel's getting a Blu-ray release. So if you are a fan of Alligator, this is the month for you because you get the first one on 4K. The second one is only getting a Blu-ray release from what I can tell. But either way, both of these movies are getting physical media releases. That's kind of exciting. Escape from LA. Yes, this is Kurt Russell, one of the greatest actors of all time. Not sarcastically, he is a really good actor. I really like all of his stuff. Escape from LA, I haven't seen in years, so I'd be excited to get this one, and I don't own it. So this is another one that I'm probably going to pick up, and I'll follow up with you guys on it next month and let you know what it is my pickups are. By the way, anything I picked up last month, which I think I picked up at least one thing. I'll show it at the end of this video if that's the case. I don't remember. The Green Mile's getting a 4K release. This is a really good movie, but for me, it's not a movie I rewatch. There's some movies, I own Schindler's List as well. It's a great movie, and you should watch it at least once. But it's one of those movies that you're not going to revisit because of the tone of the movie. It's like, I don't know, man. When I put in a movie, I'm putting in a movie to feel better. So, a lot of these movies like Green Mile, it's very depressing, and so it's not something I'm probably going to revisit, but it is a really good movie that I think does deserve a 4K release. Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey. This is the first time ever released on Blu-ray, I believe. Now I had a hard time finding this movie back in the day. I found it on streaming eventually on one of the streaming services. I caught this because they came out with the Netflix I would say it's a Netflix documentary or Netflix special. Was it Jim and Andy or Me and Andy or something like that? Anyway, it was about Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman in this movie. And it was its own movie. And that was more interesting than the actual movie, in my opinion. But either way, I mean, it is still a pretty good movie. If you're a Jim Carrey fan, I would say this is definitely one of his lesser known titles. And Jim Carrey's kind of gone nutso. But either way, and if you watch that documentary, you'll kind of see why. But Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. This is another movie that I haven't seen. You know, one of the things when I do these lists, it's always amazing to find out the amount of movies that I actually haven't seen. Because I've seen tons of movies. It's my thing. And especially a lot of these older ones. Like a lot of them I know existed, but I've never actually seen. This starred Gary Oldman is getting a 4K release. And yeah, again, something else I might have to check out. It's got a great cast. I mean, it's got Benedict Cumberbatch, Colin Firth, Tom Hardy, John Hurt, Toby Jones, and Mark Strong. It's a really good cast. So, yeah, I actually might pick this one up because I've never seen it. Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy. This is getting a Blu-ray release. If you've never heard of this, I surprisingly have heard of this. You know why I've heard of this? Because I'm a big Siskel and Ebert fan. I love Siskel and Ebert, and I own an Ebert documentary. I own his book, and Siskel and Ebert had this fight about this movie. Like, Siskel really liked this movie, and Ebert was like, "What are you crazy? This movie's terrible. It's a terrible movie."
And I recommend this picture as kind of a midnight show cult picture, which I suspect it's destined to become.
Boy, are we apart on this one.
Oh.
I did not laugh once. I thought this movie was awful.
Oh, no, Roger.
Dreadful.
No.
Terrible.
No.
Stupid. Idiotic.
No.
Unfunny.
No.
Labored. Forced.
Oh, Roger.
Painful.
Roger, this is
bad.
What happened to your sense of humor?
I got my sense of humor. That was what my sense of humor was, starving for a laugh.
Oh, no, Roger.
That's really the only reason I knew this thing existed. And when I saw those coming out, I immediately thought about the Siskel and Ebert fight about this movie. Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles is coming to Blu-ray. Yeah, I bet you didn't even know this thing existed. I did. I had it on VHS back in the day. That's right. I went in my box, I went in my collection and dug up Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, the VHS. Check out this sticker down here. Video bonus, a behind-the-scenes featurette of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius in theaters, December 2001. Exciting. Man, I didn't even know Jimmy Neutron was that old. But yeah, Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles was the third movie. This is getting a solo Blu-ray release. Apparently, the trilogy had already released in September of last year, which I didn't do release videos then. I didn't pick up my release videos again until October. I had to take a long break for personal reasons, various reasons, and so I didn't do September, so I didn't even know the trilogy had come out. I like Crocodile Dundee. I even like the Los Angeles one. Harry and the Hendersons is coming out in the Blu-ray. This has been apparently out of print because this is definitely a re-release because I have the original right here. This is the original release. I don't even think they're changing the box for it. I'm pretty sure they're keeping the same box. I really love this movie. This was like one of the only VHSs I had as a kid. I played it so much, the VHS box got destroyed, the tape became demagnetized, and we had to get another copy. I have no idea where that one is. But yeah, man, I love Harry and the Hendersons. It's a really good movie, and I'm glad I actually get to talk about it on my channel. I've actually got a big canvas art print that I got at a convention one year that is amazing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a picture and share it with you guys. Man, doesn't that just look great? Look at that. The artist is Barrett Biggers, I believe. And yeah, I really love this thing. Finally, we're to Steelbooks, and first up is Wayne's World. And man, this has a really nice orange box. It's very catching. And I don't own Wayne's World, so I might actually be picking this one up. I think it's still available to pre-order on Best Buy. I'm not 100% sure. But the box looks really nice, and I really like the first Wayne's World. I haven't seen the second Wayne's World in a long time. But like I said, this is a Blu-ray. It's not a 4K release. It's just a Blu-ray. A lot of what Best Buy's been doing is picking up a lot of these older movies and doing just re-releasing, taking the Blu-ray disc and then repackaging in a steelbook. And usually they're pretty affordable. I think this one's like $15. So definitely not bad. Pretty good deal. And then on brand, we got the Marvel Eternals steelbook because Marvel's always going to have a steelbook that's going to come out with their movies. Again, I don't have any interest in Eternals. It's currently on Disney Plus, and I can watch it because I pay for Disney Plus, and I'm still not going to watch it. I just don't care about the movie. The Steelbook looks all right. The characters look very small. Like, I feel like this would look better on a poster, because they're going to look very small on a Steelbook. I don't even know if you'll be able to make them out. So kind of a weird design for Steelbook, in my opinion. La La Land is getting a Steelbook release, or another Steelbook release, because I'm pretty sure they already had a Steelbook of this prior to, but this is another Steelbook for the 4K. The 4K was already released too. So again, this is just a repackaging of the Steelbook. The actual art looks really good all the way around this thing. I'm not really into musicals, so I didn't watch this, and I probably won't watch it. But I'm not going to argue. The Steelbook looks really good though. As I said, Green Mile's getting a 4K release, and with that 4K release, they're also doing a Steelbook. The art on this looks really good, very representative of the movie. And again, I'm just not going to rewatch this movie. It's very good, but I just don't know if I don't want to shell out the money to put it in my collection, because I'm not going to rewatch it. The Steelbook looks really good. Encanto's also getting a Steelbook release. I'm pretty sure this is on par with the other Disney Pixar ones. I'm pretty sure all the other Disney Pixar releases had Steelbooks as well. I'm not 100% sure. Again, the art looks pretty good. There's a house in the background. I don't really know much about Encanto, to be honest. I do know that it's on Disney Plus, so I'll probably check it out eventually. Again, it's just, I kind of stopped buying or collecting the Pixar movies just because they've been fairly average. If there's a big standout one, I pop on it, but for the most part, I'd just rather keep the older ones and go from there. Catwoman Hunted is also getting a Steelbook release. It's got a little bit different art. Best Buy has been releasing the DC animated movies doing Steelbooks. Usually they reuse the same art, so the art's actually different for this one, so that's kind of interesting, but again, I don't know if the movie's any good. Hurt Locker is getting a Steelbook release as a 4K, and I don't actually own this movie. I could have sworn I own this movie. This has got to be one that I loaned out to somebody and never got back, because I know for sure I own this. I tried to get it to show it to you guys for this video, and I'm discovering all the time that I have missing movies from my collection, because I used to loan them out back in the day, and I have had Hurt Locker since it came out. Was it 2010, 2009? It competed with Avatar, so I think it was 2009 it came out. So I had it since I worked at Blockbuster a very long time, and now somebody else has it. But either way, the Steelbook looks really nice. One thing that they've been doing is they've been having the slips for the Steelbooks. This is the only Steelbook I have over here at the moment, so having the slip is really nice, and I'm glad that they've started doing that, because the J cards that come with the standard Steelbooks usually end up in the garbage. So I'm thinking about doing a video on J cards, but this is what the slip looks like. And then look at that. Doesn't that look cool? Yeah, man, I'm actually going to pick this one up, because again, I don't have my DVD or my Blu-ray, which I'm pretty sure that I had both at one point. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this Steelbook. If it's available for pre-order, I'm going to pre-order as soon as I get out done filming this video. Ghostbusters Afterlife, like I said, is not getting a mainstream Steelbook release. This Steelbook is one of the Zavis, so you have to go through their website. I usually don't cover that because they have their own stuff, and this has been sold out for a very long time, so you can't even get this. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. I guess just to say that it is getting a Steelbook release, but you can't even get it, so unless you want to pay ridiculous amounts of money for it on eBay. I wish they just had a mainstream release of Ghostbusters Afterlife on Steelbook. Special releases. So the Ghostbusters Ultimate Collection is coming out, and I'm shifting this over on the side so you can get a better look at it. These are Steelbooks, and it includes Ghostbusters 1, 2, and Afterlife. It does not include 2016, and a lot of people freaked out about this. By a lot of people, I mean like 8 people on Twitter who liked the 2016 Ghostbusters movies and were upset that wasn't included. Got upset that 2016 Ghostbusters wasn't included. It's not included because a lot of people didn't like it. It disrespected fans. But the main reason why it's not included is it's not even in continuity. It's not in continuity. So the reason these 3 are included is because they're in continuity. Like that Ghostbusters 2016 was its own rebooted spin-off thing, so there's no reason to include it in this. Anyway, that's ranting about why 2016's not in there. Again, you can like Ghostbusters 2016, that's fine, but after the outcry, they decided to include a digital code or something like that in here, but there's no physical release for it. This has actually actually a pretty cool set. I already own the first one, and I own the second one as well. So I don't know if I'm going to pop on this one. Like I said, I am a Ghostbusters fan, but I'm not a super Ghostbusters fan. I don't know if this is something I'd want to spend that amount of money on. There's also just going to be a base Blu-ray collection of the trilogy as well. Again, no Ghostbusters 2016 on this one. Just the Blu-ray, but 1, 2, and 3 movies you will be able to get in a collection if you don't own any of them. That's probably a way to go. If you don't really care about 4K, you're going to get all 3 at a decent price. And as I mentioned before, Wayne's World is coming to a Steelbook. With that, they're also coming out with a Wayne's World Blu-ray 2-pack with Wayne's World 1 and 2. I really wish they just went ahead and came out with Wayne's World 2 Steelbook, so you could buy both Steelbooks together. I get why they're doing it this way, but at the same time, I want the Steelbook. I don't want the 2-pack of Wayne's World. Hey, it's coming out. The Mad Max anthology is getting a re-release fix. This I talked about. I think this released in October. I think it was when I first came back. This was all the Mad Max movies. It had sound problems. So there was all kinds of problems with the sound mix or something to do with the movie. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy any of the Steelbooks either, even though the Steelbooks looked amazing. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because there was all kinds of problems with the sound on these discs and people having to ship them back and get new discs, and now they're re-releasing in the fixed version, but you're not going to know which one's the fixed version unless the old stores pulled the old ones off the shelf. So just a big mess for this release, and I feel bad because Mad Max is a good anthology that deserved a really solid release, and it didn't really get it. Also, Spider-Man 4K, which I talked about before last month, and I almost talked about the month before. It keeps getting pushed. I don't know why, but yeah, a lot of times what I talk about, they push like after I film the video, before I even put the video up. Even within a couple days after filming, they've already changed it. So, yeah, I mean, whatever I talk about here, there's a decent chance it might be pushed because of supply chain issues and whatever else. Just want to tack on a few TV releases that are coming out that you might find of interest. Stargirl Season 2 is coming out. I've not seen the show Stargirl. I heard the first season was pretty good. Don't know anything about the second one. It's not a CW show, which makes me actually kind of want to check it out. I don't care about the CW shows. But that's coming out. I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm tacking this on to the special releases because there is a special release of this movie. This movie was announced to be coming out this month, which is really surprising since it was just in theaters in December. It's already coming out on physical media, and this was announced after I already filmed. So I'm filming this after the fact because I want to put it in. And that movie is Kingsman. The Kingsman, which is the third Kingsman movie. The first Kingsman, Secret Service, is a great movie. It's directed by Matthew Vaughn, who also directed Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class, which are great movies. Kingsman Secret Service is one of the best movies that I saw that year. And then the second one came out, which I was really excited for, which was Kingsman The Golden Circle. And this movie is really bad. I bought it before seeing it, and that was a bad decision because I've only watched this once and I probably will never watch it again. I don't know if this new one's any good. I haven't really seen any reviews for it. There's no real chatter about it or anything else. So I have no idea if it's any good, but it is coming out. And also with that, Best Buy is releasing a Steelbook collection, the Kingsman collection, which seems to imply that there probably is not going to be a fourth movie. It's really sad because there's a lot of potential here. The Kingsman Secret Service, like I said, I really love this movie. I watch it all the time. So many memorable scenes in this movie. So much potential for what they could do with this franchise, and they just kind of blew it with the second one. I haven't seen the third one yet. I am interested in seeing it. The Steelbook collection is... I don't think these Steelbooks are very interesting. It's literally just suits. I guess it's representative of the movies, but I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm still disappointed with how the second one turned out, so I don't know if this third one's any good. So that's my list. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I feel like it might be a couple minutes longer than my previous videos, but if you like these release videos, please like them and let me know that you like them. You've done a good job, everybody out there, of hitting the like button on the release videos to let me know you guys like them, because it's kind of one of those things where a lot of people seem to watch them, but the like to the watch ratio is a little bit strange, so it's always hard to tell if that's people who don't hit the like button or people aren't actually interested in it. I think that you guys are interested in it, and as long as you guys are interested in it, I'm going to keep doing the release videos because I like talking about physical media, guys. And what more can I talk about but physical media coming out every month? I guess I could do it every week, do little mini videos, but I'd rather just do it all for the month because there's a lot. That way I get a lot of stuff to talk about in one video. And I said I was going to show you guys anything I picked up last month. I didn't pick up anything last month. I thought that I had picked up something. I was trying to get Dune on 4K. I wanted to get the Steelbook, but they sold out immediately and I wasn't able to get it. I'm holding out to that they might actually restock, so I didn't buy Dune on 4K. That is one that I really wanted to buy. Last Night in Soho was another one that I wanted to buy that I didn't pick up yet. So, and that Punisher Steelbook I wanted. So there was several things I wanted from a video I did last month that I just wasn't able to track down. But regardless, hopefully I'll have better luck this month. And yeah, guys, happy hunting out there. Pre-order if you can for these Steelbooks because they're getting harder and harder. They don't even make it to the shelves anymore. But I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Thank you, subscribers, because you guys are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geek264, and I always tell you the truth.